All right, deep divers, settle in. Today, we're tackling a really tough one, human trafficking. It's this global crisis that, operates in the shadows, but its impact is everywhere. It's an issue that often gets kind of oversimplified, I think. But our sources today, they give us a remarkably practical, sort of unvarnished look at how it really works.
That's right. Our mission here in this deep dive is really to pull out the crucial insights from the material you've provided us. Think of this as your essential roadmap, maybe, to recognizing the dangers, understanding these really intricate webs of deception, and most importantly, knowing how you can protect yourself and, others around you. This isn't just about being aware, it's about being genuinely informed.
Exactly. And the sources for today, they feel like a practical guide, really drilling down on the actual realities of trafficking, not just like the sensationalized stuff we might see sometimes. So, okay, let's unpack this. We need to strip away the myths first. When we talk about human trafficking, what's the fundamental definition? What do our sources really want us to grasp?
Well, the core definition is pretty clear. Human trafficking happens when people could be boys, could be girls are taken away by force or, and this is common, tricked into going somewhere specific. And then once they're there, they're made to do things they absolutely never agreed to. What the sources really stress is the coercion and the exploitation. That's what defines it, not necessarily, how they got there initially.
Right. So it's not always like a dramatic kidnapping. Often it's this deep psychological manipulation.
Precisely. Yeah. They can be taken across state lines or even to completely different countries. And the deception, it often involves these really enticing promises, doesn't it? Good jobs, maybe a chance at school, a better life somewhere else. But once they arrive, the reality hits. Victims find themselves trapped, forced into labor, maybe begging, sometimes stealing, or, as the source grimly puts it, much worse.
Yeah, that much worse really hangs there. The source actually uses this chilling phrase, saying people are treated like goods, like bags of rice. That image is just haunting. It really underscores the total dehumanization happening. But the critical message, and we have to hammer this home, is that humans are not for sale, period. And here's where it gets, really interesting, maybe surprising for some listeners. It's not just girls who are trafficked. Boys are victims too. What specific examples did the sources give? How does it look different for boys sometimes?
That's a crucial point. And what our sources really highlight isn't just that boys are victims, but the patterns of exploitation can be different. For instance, the material points towards a higher chance of forced labor or even being forced into illegal stuff for male victims. We see examples like being forced to push drugs, getting caught up in internet fraud schemes or illegal work, maybe unpaid work in factories or on farms. This specific focus, it shows how traffickers adapt. They exploit different vulnerabilities based on who they're targeting.
That's powerful. Yeah, it really challenges that narrow view we sometimes get. So, okay, knowing this, how can such an inhumane trade even persist? What are the root causes? What makes people vulnerable in the first place, according to these sources?
Our sources point to two major underlying reasons. The first, and it's just everywhere, is poverty. So many families are struggling, just desperate for a better life. So when someone comes along with these big promises, taking their child to the city or abroad, that desperation, it clouds judgment, makes even unbelievable promises seem like maybe the only option. They're looking for an escape.
And the traffickers just ruthlessly exploit that hope.
They absolutely do. And the second big reason, it's just pure greed. Traffickers want to get rich by any means. That's the phrase used, even if it means hurting others in the most awful ways. The sources detail how they use specific tactics, like setting up fake companies, fake travel agents, or fake job offers to fool people.
Okay, that raises a really important question then. With this mix of desperation and greed, how did these exploiters actually do it? How do they ensnare victims? Do the sources give us any clues, like warning signs about these fake companies or offers?
The main method, like we touched on, is lying about opportunities, jobs, school, sometimes even like romantic relationships. But what's really critical, a major red flag the sources hammer home is this. A real helper will never tell you to hide things from your family.
Yeah.
If anyone tells you don't tell your parents or pushes for secrecy about anything, that's an immediate huge danger sign. It's all about isolating the victim.
Wow. That isolation piece is just chilling. And it's not just face-to-face anymore, is it? This is happening online a lot now too.
Oh, absolutely. The sources specifically warn about social media, platforms like Facebook, TikTok, WhatsApp. Yeah. Traffickers use these to find young people. They pretend to be nice, maybe pretend to be rich. They build this false sense of security, this connection. But the underlying plan, the source warns, is wicked. It's often that slow burn, that grooming process. Building trust, then slowly isolating, making the victim dependent or maybe afraid.
That's fascinating. So it's not just about being, street smart. It's understanding that emotional manipulation too. So what stands out to you? What practical steps can our listeners take? How do we use this guide to protect ourselves and the people we care about?
Well, the sources give some really specific questions you should ask. If someone approaches you or someone you know with what sounds like a big opportunity, ask, who are they really? Where exactly are you going? What specific work will you be doing? Is your family involved? Do they know the plan? These seem simple, maybe obvious, but asking them, getting real answers, that cuts right to verifying if it's legitimate.
That's such a vital checklist for anyone, really, not just young people.
Right. And beyond those questions, it's just crucial to trust your gut. Reinforce your fundamental right to say NO if something feels off. The message is so clear. Your life is more important than money or travel. Trust that feeling. Don't let pressure override it.
And it's not just on the individual, is it? Parents have a massive role here, maybe the most critical role in prevention.
They absolutely do. The advice for parents is straightforward. Be watchful. Don't just let someone take your child away because they promise money or school. You have to dig deeper. Parents are urged, do your research, ask for ID, check their office, speak to the police if unsure. That due diligence, the source's stress, it can prevent just unimaginable heartache.
Okay. So knowing all this, what's the bottom line? If you suspect something's wrong, if you or someone you know might be in trouble, what's the most critical step?
Speak out. That's the most important thing. Don't stay silent. The sources list trusted contacts, your parents, maybe a teacher you trust, a pastor, or call the authorities directly. Get help. The message is clear. Silence is what traffickers rely on. Breaking that silence is crucial.
Okay, let's unpack this one last time. We need to remember that chilling thought from the sources. Not every good-looking offer is real. Some sweet things, well, they can be traps. That shiny opportunity might hide real danger.
Absolutely. Your life is valuable. Don't let anyone use you or exploit you. Be wise, be strong, and please always stay informed. That's your power.
And maybe as you go about your day, just think about that subtle difference. The line between a genuine opportunity that builds you up and a deceptive trap designed purely to exploit. How much of our safety really comes down to just constant vigilance or willingness to ask those tough, maybe awkward questions? And our commitment to seeking out true information, that might be our very best defense. Stay aware, stay safe, and keep diving deep with us.